What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Move over that way a little bit. Yeah. What's happening? Let me make sure this sound works. It's a little behind here, huh?
What's up, Saturday night? Welcome to Have a Conversation After Dark. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're good. What's happening? It's Saturday night, and those of you who follow us know that when you see us on Saturday night, it's time for Have a Conversation After Dark. This is a conversation about all things. I mean, nothing is off limits.
No
Nothing.
holds barred.
Nothing is off limits. Listen, we ask that if you are watching now live with us, or if you're watching the replay, that you simply hit the share button. Hit the share button and share this. The more people we get into this conversation, the better the conversations always are. So hit the share button so that we can get some folk in here with us as well. So,
Mhm.
um, if you're not familiar with this and you're just stumbling upon this for the first time, this is Have a Conversation After Dark. This is a time where we throw out a topic. You get to hear our thoughts about the topic, but really the goal is to get you talking about the topic, because when we say this at the opening and closing of each of these episodes, that conversation is a catalyst for
Growth,
conversation is a catalyst for
bonding,
and conversation is a catalyst for
learning.
learning. Are we in the camera even? I feel like we're not, but that's all right. We'll deal with that another time.
Is the sound on and everything?
Sound is good. I think people can hear us, so I think we're good to go. Listen, here is the topic for tonight. Actually, before we get into the topic for tonight, well, we'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end. Here's the topic for tonight. The topic for tonight is: do I have to tell them everything?
Hmm.
Do I have to tell them everything?
Mm-hmm.
That's the topic for tonight. Now, let me tell you where that topic comes from. Let me give you some context around where that topic comes from. That topic stems from our Thursday night show. Our Thursday night show is Have a Conversation. Our Thursday night show is Inside the Relationship.
Yes.
Now, this was the show this past Thursday where we talked about whether all men are inherently polygamous. But in each of those shows on Thursday, we answer the question of the week. So we get a question and we pop that question on the screen and answer that question. So tonight's show stems from the question. And let me pull the question up real quick so people can see the question. So the question of the week on our Thursday evening show was: is it ever acceptable to keep certain secrets for the sake of protecting each other? Or does complete honesty always have to win?
And what I had said was, and what I believe is that if there is some thing that I know, or there's something that I experienced or that I encountered or that I did that was that doesn't have any bearing on our relationship, doesn't have any bearing on our marriage, it doesn't have any bearing on you or anything like that, it's in the past. I feel like if I were to reveal that to you, it would hurt you. It would hurt our marriage. It would destroy our marriage. In that regard, I don't feel like I should say anything.
Okay.
I don't.
Now, here's why we chose to bring this topic to tonight.
Yeah.
After my wife shared that perspective, my next question to her was, what if you're asked about it?
And if you're asked about it, hey, did you ever or hey, has this ever happened? In that regard, I feel like, yes, you should not lie. You should.
Okay. Now, that brought on a brought on story time.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who are not familiar with us, we're pretty transparent, and there is a time in my life that I wish I had not said anything. There is. So we're
You
talking
still
about,
wish you hadn't?
yes,
Do you?
absolutely,
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, but I feel like I might be jumping the gun on the conversation,
Hmm.
but I feel like you shouldn't regret having said anything because even though it was tough at the time for me to hear and tough for you to say and just tough all around, tough for our marriage,
Hmm.
it's a level that obviously we hadn't experienced before,
Hmm.
but having experienced it and gone through it and talked through it and stuff,
Hmm.
now we are better equipped and better prepared for tough conversations.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So, in
I,
that regard, I think that it was just, even though it was a horrible tool, it
hmm.
was a tool nonetheless
Hmm.
that helped us. It was a building block for us in our relationship as far as conversation goes and vulnerability and just all of that.
Yeah,
So in that regard, I feel like it was a tool for our relationship.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I still wish I didn't have to do it. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, I understand.
Shout out to Barry Tate in the comments. Barry said, I agree with Denise that lies can't strengthen the relationship. Now, I agree with that.
Mm.
Now, here's the thing, right? There's a difference between lying. No, people are gonna. I'm gonna say what I was gonna say, but I know that people are gonna disagree with me. I probably disagree with me as well. But let me just say it for shock value. There's a difference between lying and omitting. Now, people will disagree. People will say that omission is
Is lying.
right. Let me give the story. So for
Mm.
those of you who weren't here on Thursday, let me give you the story that now made us say, you know what? Let's bring this to Saturday night.
Yeah.
So here's the story. The story is that we're coming up on our 25th year of marriage, right? In year one, those of you who know my story know that I often talk about how the first 2 years of our marriage was tumultuous, right?
Rocky.
Rocky.
Very rocky.
And many people have heard there's talks that I've done that where I talk about the turnaround moment that I had um, in the second year of my marriage that really made me face myself and start to work towards doing better. What a lot of people don't know, though, is that in year one, um, because of the fact that I got married, the same crazy, reckless, all over the place single guy was the guy who got married and didn't make
Stop being that
right,
crazy,
didn't make any
reckless, all over the
adjustments.
place
Right.
guy, single guy.
Because I didn't make any adjustments in year one, I found myself in some situations I should not be in. Now, year two, she never knew anything.
Didn't.
Year two, I have this, the Holy Spirit kicks me in the chest one morning, 4:30 in the morning, and I'll tell that story another time. But that experience caused me to turn some things around. She never knew.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, that's year one, mind you.
Hmm.
Fast forward, year 14. We are at a marriage conference, and part of the homework for one of the sessions was these series of questions that they wanted us to go through and answer. In answering the questions truthfully, now mind you, I definitely wrestled for a split second as to whether I wanted to answer truthfully or not, because I knew if I answered truthfully, I would have to reopen a closed case.
Mm, 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 mm.
So For a split second, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. Matter of fact, I'm going to lie. But I chose not to. Subsequently, that entire weekend was ruined from that point on.
Was.
For something that happened in year 1, but never came up until year 14. Now, I'm not going to give you the Oliver Marcel, the coach version. I'm not going to give you what it might even be the right version. I'm going to give you the Oliver Marcel, real human being version. I wish I did not go through that. Number one. Number two, I did not want to put her through that. Not for something that happened in year 1
that you had already,
that I had taken care of.
Yeah.
Only for it to come up in year 14 in conversation. So, hence the question, is it ever acceptable to keep certain secrets for the sake of protecting each other?
Yeah.
What's up, Elizan?
I still think that as difficult as it was, that you made the right choice.
Okay.
Because you were asked about it.
Because I was asked about it, so I told the truth. What's up, Camilla? Camilla's in the house.
Hey, Camilla. And I wonder, I don't know. I just feel like that kind of stuff always comes up, always reveals itself. Do you feel like had you never said, well, there's no way to tell for sure.
There's no way to tell.
There's no way to tell.
I would have worked very diligently to make sure that it never came up.
Really?
Yes.
I believe that you would have, but it's just that's
I mean, we went 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went 13 years. No secrets. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Those of you who heard the story that I just told, do you still think no secrets?
Because I feel like because of the homework that we had, because we were at this Weekend to Remember conference, right? Because of the homework that we had, if I would have, because I think I did ask you, because I remember your answer really vividly. But I wonder if I would have said it a different way. I wonder if I would have said, just on an assumption, oh, I know that's not our story.
I would have been like, you're right. It ain't. Because that would be the truth. That was not our story in year 14.
Yeah.
That was our story in year 1.
Yeah.
And you didn't know, and you ain't need to know. Like, can I just keep it a buck? Y'all know us. We just gonna keep it real. We're gonna have this conversation in front of you. That's my thought process. My thought process is, happened in year 1. You never knew. Year 2, I turned my life around. I mean, I don't get right immediately, but I turned my life around in terms of some things got cut off cold turkey.
Yeah.
I mean, friends,
yeah,
places I was going to, things I was watching, the whole 9 got cut off.
Yeah.
Right? Camilla, you said you missed the story. I'll give it to you in a nutshell. Okay. So
yeah,
this is year 25 of marriage for us. I'm not the same person that I was right now. So the same crazy, wild, reckless, out all night guy before I got married was the same guy who got married. So hence, in year 1 and most of year 2, that's how I was living. Now, in year 1, because of that recklessness and because I didn't make any adjustments into being a good husband, I found myself in some situations I shouldn't be in. You can read between the lines, right? She never knew. She never found out. She never knew. I cleaned up my act from the epiphany that I had in year 2 until this current day. I've been on the straight and narrow. She never knew. And the plan was she was never going to. Hence keeping secrets, right? So Camilla said, congrats, We hit
Thank
10.
you.
Man,
Oh,
congratulations. That's what's up.
yay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Congratulations. Happy 10th anniversary.
So fast forward, the plan was I was taking that to my grave. And and we had a comical moment Thursday on our show because literally this is how she was going to find out. We was going to get to the pearly gates and God was going to start opening up the books and she was going to be like, "What?" That's when she was going to find out. That was my plan.
And
That's my plan. That's what she was going to find out.
my plan is going to be, who is she? Is she up here with us? Because
It
I
ain't
need
gonna
to
matter.
go talk to
It ain't
her.
gonna matter because you're gonna be happy. The whole world gonna be made new. Like all the former things will be passed away at that point. So it ain't even gonna matter. It ain't even gonna matter at that point. so 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 that's when I plan for her to find out. Now, fast forward, that's year 1, mind you. Year 14, we're at a marriage conference. I mean, we kind of getting good at this thing now. Year 14, right? We're at a marriage conference, and part of the assignment was some questions that she had to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
That series of questions opened a door
Mm-hmm.
for what happened in year 1 to come out. And I'm gonna tell you, during those series of questions, for a split second, I really considered lying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, there ain't no way we about to wreck this thing that's been going good for a good 13 years almost for something that happened 14 years ago. I ain't about to do that.
Yeah.
But I end up telling the truth. The weekend was ruined. And I'm going to be honest. If I had to do it again, I would probably consider lying. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not saying that's right. Listen, this is not an advice show. This is just a conversation show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. God, I would be lying now if I wasn't being honest. God knows my heart.
Yeah, but
I would consider lying if I went if he let me go back.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We're coaches. You can't say that to the people.
Okay.
You can't say that.
Coaches need coaches too.
Yes, coaches need.
So
coaches.
somebody may need to coach me into thinking something different because I'm telling you.
You can't say that because people, you just can't say that.
All right, let me catch up with these comments. But that's the story, Camilla. So hence this question. And it came up on Thursday. So we're like, you know what? Let's talk about it today.
So Barry says, yes, I can see the value in omitting the hurtful stuff, but not at the point of being asked. 100% my perspective.
Okay.
There is one side that says be truthful and another side saying be careful what you ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, John is in the house.
And listen, I don't disagree. I really don't. I'm just telling you, me personally, just for what we went through that weekend and for it to be something that happened in year 1 that comes up in year 14, I got it. I'm just being honest.
Let's move on.
All right, let's get these comments.
John.
What's up, John?
What's up, John? John says, what up, fam? Nah, I want to know. I need to decide if it's nothing or not. Don't make that decision for me. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen,
100%.
I don't disagree. I really don't.
You
I
know
really
what's right, but you
I
just
know it,
don't
and
want.
that's why I didn't lie because I know what's right.
Yeah.
I considered lying. I really did. But I was like, no, because then now I got to perpetuate a lie for the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
Right. So, and that was the thing. That was the thing that made me tell the truth. Because up until that point, I did not have to lie.
Yeah.
I didn't.
True. You didn't.
No.
Well,
what do you mean, well?
So omitting to you is not a lie.
There was nothing to omit. It never even came up. The only person that knew was me. So up until that point, I wasn't omitting anything because it wasn't like we had a conversation and I told you a half truth. We never had a conversation. You did not know. You were only going to find out at the pearly gates. So that's, but once the conversation came up, now it's a question of, am I going to tell the truth or not? And if I choose not to tell the truth, then forevermore, I have to not tell the truth.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Congratulations. 32
March
years. That's what's up.
Birthday.
That's my wife's birthday. March 20th. DT, Dave Turner is in the house. They said, coach him, D.
David, come on now. Help me.
Listen, who am I if I'm not honest? I have to be honest. Camilla said, my question, Do you think keeping secrets takes away the choice from the person that doesn't
Doesn't
know?
know. I don't understand the question.
Uh,
The choice of what?
of anything, of being able to deal with it, being able to, it could be anything, the choice of anything. And the answer probably is yes to that.
Hmm.
Hey, appreciate you, D.
Dave Turner says, but Oliver is my guy.
Appreciate you.
So
Appreciate you. So we're like, listen, let me ask this question. Well, I'm afraid to ask this question. Elizan said we'll celebrate together. So let me give a
absolutely.
let me give a uh, disclaimer here. And I said this on Thursday. It's probably wise at this point in life
Hmm.
to not ask questions
That
that you don't want the answer to.
yeah, but how do you know you don't want the answer? Why would you ask a question if you don't want the answer?
Because there are people who are living blissful married lives and they know that their mate is faithful and they know that things are going well, who will randomly ask the question, hey, did you ever?
Hmm.
No, don't ask that. Don't ask that.
Well, if they're asking, it's because they do want the answer. That's how I look at it. I feel like if I'm asking,
Can
it's because I want the answer.
can I just understand why you would want to know that? Why would someone, let me give a scenario so it makes sense. You are in a marriage and let's say you've been married for 15 years.
Hmm.
For the last 12 years,
Hmm.
it has just been, you've been firing on all cylinders. You have been, I mean, you know this person, the commitment is there, the loyalty is there, the trust is there. I mean, heavy trust has been built.
Hmm.
Why would you ask something like that?
I yeah, I don't know, but it I know that people are curious that way. I'm curious that way.
I'm not. I don't want to know nothing about 14, 20 years ago. Nothing about you. Nothing.
Okay.
I really don't. Not at this point.
Okay.
Now, in year two,
Mhm.
when I was cutting up,
Mhm.
if we had the conversation in year two, I would want to know if you were doing something in year two as well.
Mhm.
But not in year 22. No, I don't want to know. So, yes, you can keep all of that from me.
So if I ask you something now, if I ask you a did you ever question now, would you answer me truthfully or would you be like that was so long ago, I don't even feel like that's relevant to where we are now.
Um,
I don't even feel like answering that is
yeah,
relevant to where we are now.
yeah, but here's the thing. I have language now that I could use that would keep me from actually
That will
spilling
get you
my
out of
guts. But
talking.
here's the thing. The problem is that language would also be an indicator that there's something there because
Correct.
it ain't a blanket no.
Correct.
So anything other than a blanket no puts me on the chopping block.
Yeah.
All right, let me catch up. Uh, Camilla said, in the 14 years before you told her, did you ever think no?
You never really said
No.
maybe I should tell
Y'all
her.
think I'm joking. My plan was for her to be surprised while we was standing in front of Jesus Christ. Like I'm not I know that sounded funny, but I really meant that. She would have never found out
Mm.
because there was no reason for her to find out. Not after all that time. Now, listen, if I'm still living dirty in year 14, that's a different story. But this is year 1, and as God is my eternal witness, it was only year 1. So now, if this is a continual thing, then that's something way different
Yeah.
in my book.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, Camilla, absolutely not. I had absolutely zero intention of telling her anything ever, ever. Now, I want all the answers to the
To the
questions.
questions I ask. I know That's
Hey,
right.
listen, I
Give
ain't
me
mad at you.
all the answers. I need
I ain't
to
mad at you.
anything I ask you, you gotta answer it.
I ain't mad. I'm not mad at you. I'm really not. I'm really not. Going further than just wanting the answer to evaluate what the impact of the answer would mean for you as you ask. Yeah. So for me, Barry, the reason why I considered lying when she asked me is because of that. In my mind, I couldn't predict what was going to happen next, but I knew it wasn't going to be like, oh, well, thank you for telling me. And we would just
Mhm.
go ahead and have sex because that's what I was trying to do after we asked, after we did this assignment. I
That's
was really
true.
trying to get down.
Yeah.
So
Nothing
now
went
I was
down.
like, okay,
Nothing went down.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, the impact.
Camilla says the question probably came from a feeling that person had that's why they asked. So they
That
want
could
to
be.
know
That could be. Yeah, that could be.
is
I could
what
see
I
that.
think. I
I
I
could see
agree
that.
with that. You know, sometimes you just get this feeling, this
Yeah,
intuition,
I could see that.
this Holy Spirit prompting, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you just know. You already know the answer off a lot of the
Sometimes you
time.
already know. And I would imagine, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine if this is the case, then there's something more recent happening that would give you that intuition because you didn't have no intuition
I
because we were going in a wonderful direction at that point.
I didn't have any intuition up until that very night. I think. I
Yeah,
think I asked it because I was like, there's a possibility he might say yes.
really.
I think that very moment, not ever before, but
Hmm.
that very moment, even as I'm asking the question, I think in the back of my mind, I was thinking there's a possibility he might say yes when you're done asking this question.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I think I remember feeling that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dre, what's up, Dre?
Dre
Dre
is in the house,
says,
my brother.
my answer will be yes, but I took it out on you when I came home.
Listen,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
So here's the thing, right? These are very real conversations.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you all's willingness to sit here and watch us go through this,
Mhm.
right? This conversation. I just had to, you know, I'm never going to let me just stick this pin here for a second. I'm never going to tell someone to lie. That's just not
Correct.
ethical,
Right.
right? Let alone the fact that from a biblical standpoint, we shouldn't be bearing false witness. But even if you weren't a Bible person, it's not ethical,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm not going to tell anybody to lie. So when you hear me say I considered lying, I'm just talking about, I'm just giving Oliver's true assessment of the situation because I knew that if I divulged this secret, that there was a possibility that what I had been working really hard, because let's be clear about this, and she can vouch for this, from year 3, I was putting in work.
Yeah, for sure.
Like no holes barred.
Yeah.
There is no question about it. There is nothing that you could challenge
Yeah.
about the level of work that I was putting in from year 3.
Yeah. Agree.
And I was like, I do not want this one conversation to
Unravel all of that.
right. That's not the word I was going to use, but thank you for that. I did not want it to take a dump on all of what I had done. I just didn't.
Yeah.
So I considered lying. I'm going to be honest. I did. Because I've been working hard. And I'm like, am I going to go all the way back down to 0 now and have to start over? Like, I just didn't want to do that.
You know, though, that's yeah.
I just
I
didn't want to
don't
do that.
know. That's
And that might be selfish on my part.
That's what I was thinking. I was not gonna say
It
it.
might. I'm willing to. I can own that. I can own that.
That's exactly what I was about to say, but then I was like, you know what?
I can own that.
I'm not gonna say it.
I can own that's probably selfish on my part, but that's what I was thinking. I spent 13 years building a house for one rainfall to tear it down.
Yeah.
And not even a rainfall. a recap of a rainfall that happened 14 years ago. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. If I ask a question, I need to know.
Yep.
Alexander says, I would rather know that than a lie.
Yeah.
Most times when you feel no one else knows your secret, someone
Mm.
else knows, and
Oof.
9 out of 10, it
It
eventually
eventually
shows
shows
up.
up. You know what? What if that were to happen? Because you weren't the only party.
Right. Yeah.
So it's always that possibility.
Yeah, that's true.
Most women know when something is going on, but we just need the man to confirm and adjust.
Yeah. Shout out to Reverend Gully. Good to see you,
Reverend
sir.
Gully, great to see you. Reverend Gully says there is something called situation ethics. If there is a person about to be killed running into your house, and the person after them asks if they're in the house with you, they're holding a gun, and you say no, you lied. That is situation ethics. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, Rev, does that apply to, I don't know if you heard my story, but does that apply to your spouse asking you, have you had any indiscretions? But the answer is yes, but it was 15 years ago and one time
Mhm.
and never more. And the work you've put in over the last 15 years has been outstanding.
Speaks for itself.
Does situation ethics come into play there? Can I say no and it be characterized as situation ethics?
Yes, because you know your wife is gonna hold a gun to your head.
Yeah, I didn't know how this
I'm
weekend was
kidding.
going to play out.
I'm kidding. So Dre says, Oliver, I believe you gave Denise cause when you thought of how to answer that question. You gave off that spirit and she picked up on it, and that's a real thing.
I agree with you. Now you got me thinking now. Did I pause? Because I feel like I did it all on the fly.
I don't
I
remember,
feel like I did it.
honestly.
I feel like I took, because we could both see the questions.
Right.
So I knew what was coming. So I
Yeah.
think I had time to think about whether I was going to lie or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you, Dre. And
Mm-hmm.
I could have given off something. It's very possible. I don't feel like I did,
I might have
but
just felt that type of energy coming from you.
that I was
That
getting nervous.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
possible.
that might be what
That's
I
possible.
was saying earlier, that I had some type of sense that there's a possibility that you might say yes.
Right.
That might have been the energy that I was
So
feeling.
you probably picked up on, and I didn't even know I was omitting this, but
Mm-hmm.
picked up on the fact that I was wrestling with whether I was going to tell the
Yeah.
truth
Yep.
3 questions later.
Yep. Yep. Mm-mm-mm.
Wild business.
Dre says, I don't and will never ask those questions just because.
Me either, bro.
If I ever ask that question or series of such questions, it's because I know and I'll want to see if you will lie about it. The reason I'll ask is because I'm in a space where I can deal with it. Hmm.
I agree with that. And that's yeah, I agree with that. If I ask the question, then I already know something.
Hmm.
And maybe it's just me. Maybe that's naive on my part. But I don't want to know nothing about what you did 25 years ago.
Mhm.
I don't care. I really don't. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, if you were to tell me, as God is my witness, if you were to tell me that in year one, while you was gone all that time and you was coming home 4 or 5 in the morning, I was doing my own thing. Okay.
I don't believe you would feel that way.
Today, Elizabeth, about year one,
I
what is there for me to get upset about? 24 years later.
I don't think you would feel that way. I don't.
Okay, so you get to see us have this conversation in real time because
I'm
we haven't talked about this.
I'm
So
not saying that you would be like, well, who was it? And I'm gonna call him, and all of that. But I'm not saying that it would just be for you like, wow, for real, man. Okay. I don't feel like it would be that simple for you. I'm not even saying that you would even get angry, but I don't think it would be that simple as okay, and we move on from there.
I,
I
I
feel like you would feel some kind of way.
I don't think I would.
Really?
No, not
Wow.
not at this stage in the game, year 25. If you tell me that during our time in year one, when you were running all over the place and I didn't know where you were, that I was lonely, and so I just was out there too, and you didn't know. No,
Mm,
I'm not going to like what do I do with that information now? Our marriage is phenomenal. It's not perfect,
right.
but what am I getting upset about?
Mm.
I can't I can't even bring it. I can't even bring myself to get upset about that. 24 years ago?
I would be upset.
I
I
know
don't care.
that's evident because we went through it in year 14. I know. I'm saying I wouldn't.
I don't care. Year
That's just
one,
too.
year 25, year 35, I would be upset.
Now, let me tell you when it would be an issue for me. This is year 25 for us.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me 5 years ago you did something, now we got a problem.
Because that was very
That's
recent.
recent because that undermines the perception that I had of our current marriage.
Mm.
Year one was
Our marriage
bananas.
was not this.
Right.
Yeah.
Year one was bananas. So
Mm.
whatever happened in year one is almost expected because it was ridiculous.
Mhm.
Right. So if you tell me something happened in year one, who am I going to get mad at? I was wilding out in year one. So what am I getting upset about?
Yeah.
That's just me. And I'm not saying that's everybody's story, but situation ethics always depends on the situation. Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
Jeff is in the house. What's up, Jeff? Hey, fam. I'm with you. I'm the same way.
What's up,
Okay.
Jeff?
What's happening? I feel like folk who say they don't care say it because they were doing some things themselves. And so that's and kind of that's my point, John, right? Because in year one, if she tells me now, you know what, in year one, you weren't around, and because you weren't around, XYZ happened, I can't get mad at that because in year one, I wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like I'm coming in year one, 4, 5, 6 in the morning on a regular basis.
I'm laughing at John's
You know,
next comment, but
on a
you're not
regular
there yet.
basis. So I couldn't. I was doing something myself in that time.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Ali, would things that you have built not feel different if she said she was outside in year one?
Right. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking. Like, mm,
I don't know. Not Camilla. I don't know. Not now.
mm,
Not. I mean, we've gone through so much.
yeah.
And I'm not talking about like the indiscretion piece. I'm talking about since then.
Mm-hmm.
We've weathered so much together.
Yeah.
That for in this moment, her to tell me in year one, yeah, you know what? I never told you, but yeah, I was out there too. I'm letting that go.
Mm.
We've been through too much together. We've weathered too many storms together. We've built something too great for me to be upset about something that happened 24 years ago. I just can't do it. That's just not how I'm built, I guess.
You're a big man, Oliver Marcel.
Now, let's be clear. 5 years ago, we're going to have a problem. Like, we're going to have a problem because that's contradictory to what I thought was built.
Mm-hmm.
In year one, we hadn't started building nothing.
Yeah, this is true.
There wasn't no foundation. We didn't even break ground in year one. So ain't nothing to be upset about for me. And that's the difference between most men and women. I agree with that. I agree with that.
This is what I was laughing at. There's a statute of limitations for O.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, you're right.
So the next comment is from Reverend Gully. He says, never bring past non-relevant events into your situation. I don't see the purpose.
Me either, Rev. Me either. But let me say, go ahead.
Non-relevant though, isn't that relative? I might think that it's relevant. You might think that it's non-relevant.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say the other side of that coin though is you can't really dictate what's relevant to the other person.
Correct. Because you can say to me, like, I might think that it's relevant, and you can be like,
Mm.
that's not relevant. But if you were to say, no, that's not relevant, and that's the end of the story, then you're dismissing what I'm feeling.
Mhm.
And, you can't do that.
You know what's crazy? You might not have even found out at the pearly gates, because
You still
they
talking
say
about the
when you
pearly gates.
when you ask for forgiveness, God blots out your stuff with His blood, and your sins are dashed as far as from the east from the west. So when we got to that page, all you would have saw was red, and I would have been like, "Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's go on in. Let's go on in."
Oh my goodness.
All right, Elizan said, I think it is
Because
because once
once
married,
married.
most women honor their vows even before walking to the altar.
Ooh.
However, it is different for men.
Even before walking to the altar.
That's a whole nother conversation, Elizan. We
It
might have to
is.
we might have
Yes.
to take that one up one
I
Saturday
like
night.
that. Even before walking to the altar, most women honor their vows. But for men, that's different.
Well, and some people are going to disagree. That's what I'm saying. We got
What do
to
you think about that? That's interesting.
it's
Wow.
interesting. I think that in some cases that is the
That is
case,
the case.
but not always.
Wow.
But I see where Elizan is coming from with that. Oliver has already made the reconciling entry to balance the books for all that was happening. Yep.
It's early days.
And listen, I'm not tooting my own horn, Barry, but I've put in work, bro.
Mm.
And I talk about it in my book. That's the whole premise of the book, is my journey of self-discovery in a whole bunch of different areas. And so I have put the work in. I definitely have. Dre said,
My mindset is simply this: if you do, just handle your business and take care of it. I'm not going to let none of that stuff kill me. I would rather deal with the root causes rather than symptoms, period.
true.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Hmm.
I appreciate
Barry,
yeah, I'm with that.
Barry Tate says, perhaps the early years are already sealed and can no longer impact the now.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, John. That's
Appreciate you, fam. Let's go in.
yeah, that's all I was trying to do, my
You're just
brother.
trying to get past them pearly gates.
That's all I was trying to do. That's it. That's it. But man, this is an interesting topic, man.
Yeah.
We about to get out of here, but this is an interesting topic, and we always use that story
Mhm.
when these kinds of questions come up,
Mhm.
because we've definitely, now let me switch gears for a second. We have had individuals. I don't know if you. I'm thinking of one couple in particular. I don't think you were working with this couple with me, where what, like I said, I'm never going to give you any idea that you have the green light to lie. So if you're faced with a situation where you have to tell the truth, just be prepared for the entire process that you will need to go through to take you from telling the truth to restoration.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a
I was
process.
going to say, because there is a process.
There's going to be a process. There's going to be some honesty
Yeah.
that you're going to have to go through. That there's going to have to be some forgiveness that you're going to have to seek and grant.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to have to be some reconciliation.
Not necessarily.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but in our case,
Yeah.
reconciliation
Mm-hmm.
and some level of restitution
Yeah.
and restoration.
Yep. Yep.
And that don't happen in one day.
And it's hard work. It is hard work.
It don't happen in one day.
Does not.
Hence why I battled whether I was going to tell the truth or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, we just put on a wonderful addition to our marriage house. And we about to tear all that back down to start build this building process all over again. And I was not really feeling that.
Yeah.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great question for you and your spouse to talk about. Now, here is my advice. Just talk about it. Don't allow this to get you at each other's throats. Don't get no crazy ideas. Well, let me see if I can trap this person and let me see if I can get this. And no, just do you think it's acceptable? Yes or no? Why?
Mm.
That's it. Um, Preferably you don't have the experience I had. Or maybe I should say we had, because I do feel like I took I feel like although I hold on, wait, let me say the words first so you can hear what they are before you have a reaction. Although I was the perpetrator, my fear was I was going to take the entire brunt of this situation, and I was not ready to do that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm telling you how I felt. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you how I felt. I knew that I didn't know what your reaction was going to be, but I knew you were going to have one, and I knew it wasn't going to be, oh man, that's I can't believe that you would do something like that, and then we would go on about our day. I knew it wasn't going to be that, and I didn't want to take you through that, and I didn't want to go through that. So now here we are, 10 and a half years removed from that experience. You got any questions you want to ask me now? Mm, okay. 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 All right. Let's get to Dre's comment. Dre, Dre said, Dre said, what I've noticed is that when these situations arise, there are so many layers to why one will engage in such behavior. It is not as simple as most of us make it. It can go back generations.
Yeah.
Yep. It can also be trauma. Indeed.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Indeed.
true. That's
Indeed.
true. That's true.
Elizan said, not on live.
Right, Elizan. Right.
Don't worry, Elizan. There is
This would be,
absolutely,
y'all would have to get some popcorn.
listen, there is zero chance of what happened 10 and a half years ago happening tonight. Zero chance. And God is my witness on that. Zero chance. She can ask me whatever she want to ask me. Zero chance.
But are you going to tell the truth this time?
Ain't nothing to lie about. Ain't nothing to lie about this time. You can ask whatever you want. Whatever you want. That's the kind of guy I've been for this amount of time. So
This is true.
yeah, you can ask whatever you want. Now there ain't no reason for you to, but if you chose to,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, it
there ain't
wouldn't be that type of question like, did you ever again?
Mhm.
But yeah, go ahead.
But what?
Go ahead. I don't want to talk about it on here.
Here we go, folks. Listen. See? See? Is it ever acceptable? Yeah. So there you have it. All right, listen, we're gonna get out of here. Man, thank you guys for being the best part of this. Listen, before we go, those of you who are in the DMV, we need you here, man. We need you at this event. It's gonna be conversation like this at this event. It's gonna be conversation like this. So listen.
And it would be so great if you're in the DMV area or if you want to travel to the DMV area.
Yeah.
For all of these comments that you are entering here, for you to be able to say all of this stuff.
Yep.
To us live and in person.
Yep. You'll be able to grab the mic at this event. It's to have a conversation after dark, live in front of an audience. Listen, we're gonna have a great time. We are looking forward to this. It is March the 23rd. It's also going to double as a celebration for my wife's birthday, which is going to be 3 days prior. We got my guy Kel's coming through, DJ Special K. It's going to be on the ones and twos music. Armina, dope therapist, is going to be in the conversation with us. We got B. Leah coming through with spoken word. We're going to have a really great time.
Dre, are you coming? I hope you and Honor are coming.
Dre, we need you and Honor to come if you're going to be around. Elizan said, you built the nest. Yes, without a doubt. Is that with a glass of Henny or nah?
Give him the Henny so he'll be honest.
I don't even need it.
This is true.
I don't need it.
This is true.
I'm not saying I've been the perfect husband. Now let's be clear about that. I'm nowhere near the perfect husband, but I've been a really good guy. No, I haven't been a good guy
I
either.
mean, yeah, but wow.
What? What's that mean?
I've been a really good guy.
I have been. I'm proud of that.
You should be.
I
That's
am
true.
very proud.
Yeah, you should
Based
be.
on how I started,
Yeah,
I'm very proud of where I am today.
you
I
should
really
be.
am.
You should be.
I really am.
You should be, babe.
Great show. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Telling the truth. Yes. Elizanne said, I wish I could. Dre, it is March the 23rd.
It's a
That's a Sunday
Sunday.
evening. March the 23rd
7:30.
in Columbia, Maryland. Have a conversation after dark live. We're really looking forward to that, man. We're gonna have a good time, man. We're gonna have a good time. All of these, those of you who follow our after dark conversations on Saturday night, you already know the kind of stuff we're gonna be talking about.
Mhm.
So you know the conversation is gonna be good. It's gonna be rich. It's gonna be grown and sexy, and there'll be mics in the audience so you can jump up and say what you need to say. Have your questions, comments, and all of that. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. So listen, I will put
I already know John and Siobhan are coming.
I will put the link in the chat for those who want to get their tickets. If you want to look on Eventbrite, you can check out Eventbrite and get your tickets there. I'll put the link here, and if it doesn't show up wherever you're watching, then after the show is done, I'll drop the link in there as well.
Or you could always search Eventbrite. Have a conversation after dark.
Yep, have a conversation after dark on Eventbrite. I know it's on the Denali Facebook page, and
Why
it
did
should
show
be
up twice.
because it's going to go to wherever I'm.
Oh, okay.
So it's on the Denali page right now, and it's on YouTube. I'll put it on my personal page afterward. All right.
Yeah.
Anthony Murray's in the house. What's up, bro? Man, you got to go back and watch this one, man, because I definitely want you to comment. You got to go back and watch this one. We're about to get out of here. I can vouch for my guy. Yes, thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes, I'm proud of where I'm at.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm proud of where I'm at. Now, I'm not perfect, but if we put where I'm at beside year 1 and 2,
Absolutely. I agree.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, it's a different ball game. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here, man. Thank you guys again for being the best part of this. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, and have a conversation, man. Just get in the habit of having just nice, in-depth conversations, because conversation is a catalyst for
growth.
Conversation is a catalyst for
learning,
and conversation is a catalyst for
bonding.
And we really hope you want to grow with your mate. We hope that you want to learn about your mate, and we hope that you want to bond with your mate. So have those conversations. All right, fam. Yeah. For those of you, go ahead.
I was just going to say, even if you're not in the DMV area or you cannot make it to the DMV area, I'm sure that you know someone in one of those tri-states.
Yes.
So please share this. Go to our page, go to our any one of our social media pages, and you'll see a post about it somewhere. Or just share the link from Eventbrite with the people that you know. Just share it. Share it on your social media pages so that we can get more people out there.
Indeed, we want to fill the room.
We want to fill the room.
We want to fill the room. So make sure
selling too. So we don't want you to miss out.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We're looking forward to seeing you there, fam. All right. Those of you who rock with us on Thursdays, we'll see you Thursday for Inside the Relationship, which is where this conversation spawned from this past Thursday's episode. So wherever you're watching this now, you can go back and watch this Thursday's episode. This past Thursday's episode was entitled "All Men Are Inherently Polygamous." Go check that out. That was a good conversation. Go check that one out. And listen, we're gonna get out of here. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. Have a phenomenal weekend. And listen, until next time, just have a conversation.
Have a conversation. See you next time.
Peace.